sweet friends, Lissa here for another video. Today we're going to talk about how I store my fruits and vegetables. So first up, big props to Jack for this t-shirt. It says fill up on fruit, and I designed this logo. So if you like this t-shirt, because I know I'm going to get people asking about where I got this shirt, you can follow the link right here and head over to Jack's store. The link will also be in the description below, so if you like it, you can go get it over there. I just wanted to get that out of the way, because again, I know lots of people are probably going to ask where I got my t-shirt. So for fruits and vegetables, what I do is a lot different than conventional, beliefs surrounding fruits and vegetables. I keep the majority of my produce on my counter. I don't use the fridge as often as one would think. The only things that I really do use the fridge for would be lettuce, greens, celery, carrots, berries, and lemons, probably because I buy so many. But that's pretty much all I use the fridge for. I do keep my greens in the fridge because they last a lot longer than just on the counter. Once they're on the counter for even a couple hours, they start to wilt, so fridge for the greens. Berries go bad quite quickly, so I always keep those in the fridge as well. Once fruit ripens on the counter and I don't have time to eat it, I will transfer it to the fridge because it lasts an extra day or so in the fridge. I don't like putting bananas in the fridge because they get kind of weird and brown. So I try to rotate those. If they get ripe and I'm not able to eat the ripe ones, those go directly into the freezer for later nice cream. Now, the things that I keep on the counter at all times would be things like tomatoes, cucumbers, zucchini, peppers. What else do I keep on the counter? Onions, garlic and turmeric and ginger. All fruits except for berries. The berries go in the fridge. So things like mangoes, pineapples, bananas, apples. Well, grapes I do keep in the fridge. Grapes are another one that goes bad. Cherries as well. But those other fruits, for the majority, I would say 98% of the fruits that I buy, all live on the counter. Nectarines, plums, apricots, figs, everything lives on the counter. Now, you might be thinking, oh my gosh, she has so much food on her counter. I don't actually. I just have enough food for 2, maybe 3 days on my counter at any given time. So, 3 or 4 cucumbers, maybe a couple apples, a couple bunches of bananas, maybe a pineapple or 2, a box of tomatoes, some peppers. But the thing is that I go through my fruits and vegetables so quickly that they don't have time to go moldy or get weird on my counter because I'm eating often and I'm always making food. The number one reason why I keep most of my food on my counter is because I don't like to eat stuff right out of the fridge. I do the lettuce right out of the fridge. Cucumbers, I hate cucumbers right out of the fridge. They're ice cold and they're really, really cold on the body. So if you live in a colder climate like in Canada, it's really difficult to be raw if you're eating a whole bunch of food right out of the fridge. You're going to be eating this really, really cold salad and it's going to make you cold inside. So keeping all of your major ingredients on the counter at room temperature is really beneficial to keeping your body at that level temperature when you're consuming food. Like if you do eat ice cream, I've noticed that if I eat ice cream, I get really, really cold and sometimes have to wear a heating blanket to warm myself up. I still eat ice cream because I love it, but I always wear a sweater, say, while I'm eating it, or the heating blanket. It really helps a lot with that. But I do keep the majority of my food on the counter. For my lettuce, I do like to soak it in a little bit of warm vinegar water to bring the temperature back to a more stable room temperature, and you're not eating ice cold lettuce in your salad. I can't stand ice cold lettuce in my salad. But I've been doing this for so long that I can really tell the difference between a freezing cold salad and one that was made with room temperature foods. Water is the major part of all of our fruits and vegetables. I mean, cucumbers are like 92% water, watermelon, tomatoes, peppers, all of them are incredibly hydrating on the body, but because they're hydrating, they have a lot of water. So when you put it in the fridge, all of that water gets really, really cold, and you're including all of that cold water, which can impair digestion and make your body has to work harder to increase your body temperature, and then you're uncomfortable and you're like, oh, I don't like doing raw in the winter because I'm always cold. So one of the best things that I can suggest is to keep your food out on the counter and wash your food in warm water to help bring that temperature back to a more balanced room temperature. And when it comes to storing my fruits and vegetables, if I've chopped a whole bunch of things, I like to keep them in glass containers in my fridge. Mason jars are really awesome. You can just screw on the top and keep your fruits and vegetables in there. Dressings, I learned this from Nate, actually, to keep your dressings in your little mason jars. If you have extra from lunch, you can save it for dinner. That's a great way to store your dressings in the fridge. And another thing that you might want to do if you are looking at doing warmer foods, you don't want to cook your foods, but you want to do warmer foods, is to use your Vitamix to blend soups. Soups are really good in your Vitamix. Just let it go for about 2 or 3 minutes on high, and the soup will warm up, so you're not eating, again, something straight out of the fridge that can make you cold. You could also look into getting those green food saver bags. You can find them at most kitchen stores that keep your vegetables fresh. That is an option as well. I don't use those because I find that I go through food so fast that I don't necessarily need to store things for a longer period of time. I'm always going to the grocery store quite often, buying more fruits and vegetables to sustain me for the next couple of days. Plus, I love fresh fruits and vegetables. I don't like them when they've been in the fridge for 5 days. That's one major reason why I don't have weekly shopping lists in my meal plan. I have daily shopping lists. You can combine the days if you're going for 2 or 3 days, but I don't like to tell people to buy their lettuce on Monday and hope that it's good on Saturday. It's better to have your lettuce purchased and eaten within the next 2 or 3 days so that you always have fresh, crisp, really, really nice looking fruits and vegetables. You're more likely to eat fresh food than if it's sat in the fridge for a week and it's kind of getting wilty. A lot of people are turned off by that, and they're, more likely to throw something in the oven because they don't want to eat those wilty foods. It's more beneficial to go to the grocery store more often. Another thing that I don't do anymore, I used to do it when I was eating cooked food, is that I would cut half of a cucumber and save the other half in the fridge, half of a bell pepper and save the other half in the fridge. I don't do that anymore. I use the entire food. So if I'm going to chop up a cucumber, I eat the whole thing. If I'm going to chop up a pepper, I use the whole thing. I rarely ever use, half of one, unless it's an avocado. If I do eat avocado, typically I will cut it in half, put a little lemon juice on half, and store it in the fridge for the next day. That's one of the only things that I do when it comes to storing half of the food. But because I eat such an abundant amount of fruits and vegetables, I don't tend to save the other half. So that's kind of a non-thing. I don't really do that. If you did do that, again, those green saver bags or glass containers would probably be your best bet. So I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, if you found it informative, please click like and subscribe to my channel to get notifications for more. You can find me on Facebook at Lissa's Raw Food Romance, on Snapchat, Lissa Raw Vegan, and on Instagram, I love Instagram, is Raw Food Romance. So follow me over there. I hope to see you guys over there. Love you all, and till the next video, fruit on.